Hello. Whoa, it's a lot of silver under my eyes. So I don't know how this works, and I don't have anything to talk about just yet. However, no one's viewing me yet, so it kind of works out for me. Let's see. Let's talk about relationships. Okay? So, we've all been in some pretty bad relationships. And I think partially the reason we're in a relationship is because we don't take the time to really date a person. We go into our feelings too quickly. We're quick to jump into, I think he's cute. I think she's hot. I think they have good money. Or we look at the simple things, and I don't think we look far enough into a person to really make the educated guess that it takes to become to get into a good relationship. I think we kind of jump into the first relationship we see, worried about hurting someone's feelings if we say that we don't like this or we don't like that, and we hardly ever really know ourselves before jumping into a relationship. So it's hard to make something work, even if you're with a good person, if you are unable to be who you are with that person. So it's important to have a long dating phase where there's no sleeping together. Because I think what happens is that, that may sound a little muffled, let's see. There we go. Yeah, much better. I believe what happens is that what we do in a relationship is we go ahead and look at maybe 1 to 2 aspects of the person and decide on those factors that they are definitely worth our time. So basically, like we'll say, everything is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. So we'll quickly get to know them. We'll be like, their looks, they're a 9. Okay, let's say they're a 9. They're a good looking person. Not quite a 10, but they're definitely a 9, or they're an 8. And so then we'll say that jump makes us jump into bed with them really quickly. And in bed, they're a 10. Amazing, at what they do in bed. And we can totally bond everything. We just match there. And so we start a relationship. However, we don't have anything in common mentally, physically, emotionally. He likes to go to the gym and I like to actually walk outside, So everything is opposite, or everything doesn't align, because sometimes opposites attract, but nothing is meshing. See, so we jump into this relationship where we are, he's a 9 and a 10, but we forgot all the other things that make him 100, and we're calling that a relationship. So 5 years down the road, you guys never played together, which is an important part of a relationship. Being able to have the same experiences together creates a bond, and then you guys never went to church together, or he doesn't understand your spiritual side when you start talking about energy work, or when you start talking about your gut feeling, and furthermore, his family and you don't get along. Now that is a foundation problem. So when the foundation is broken to a house and messed up, the whole house is having issues. And that's basically what we're jumping into. We're jumping into a time when we are so quick to jump into a relationship, to jump into bed and create a bond that should be between a husband and a wife with someone who's a perfect stranger to us. Now, I'm not against sleeping with someone before marriage. I'm not saying that, because that would be hypocritical of me. But what I am saying is if we took more time to date, then when we do sleep with someone, they deserve that bond a little more. See, it's common now that we're treating our relationships like marriage. We're giving the same benefits to people who are, yes, exactly. People are trying to move faster than what they are living. That's what Elvis said. Thanks, Elvis. But yeah, they try to very quick to rush into everything and get engaged and get married and run through it and then wonder why you're having so many problems. You didn't take the time to really get to know your spouse, really get to know where they come from, really get to see who they are. So you're gonna, of course, in 7 years, you're gonna have that 7-year itch. You just found out that this person's favorite color is purple. Like, you just found out some of their deepest, darkest secrets. And that's the problem. So I find that it is important on some level to be able to connect with your spouse. So we went over physically, we went over sexually, we went over play. I don't know what else to call that besides play. You know, if I'm into photography, maybe you're a model. If I'm into painting, maybe you like to draw. Like, it doesn't have to be the same, but it has to be in the same kind of field, or at least you appreciate it. Because if I'm an artist and you can't understand art, or you think art is pointless, then we can't get along, because you'll never appreciate me for something that makes me feel amazing. So let's see, what other subjects do we have here? I had these all planned out. I should be having my notepad in front of me. I'm going to take a quick moment. Oh, family. That's the other one I said. Family is a large part of who they are. If their family has certain issues that you can't deal with, then remember that's who you're marrying into. The family is such a huge part of what makes a person and breaks a person, makes a relationship and breaks a relationship. To me, it takes a family to raise a child. It takes, and not just like mom, dad, child, cousin, uncle, like friends that have been there for a long time. And these kind of invested relationships help a person to grow, help a person to understand who they are, and help a person to be diverse. Okay, so the other one is mentally. Oh my God, you are right, Elvis. Mentally. If you can't, if you are an intellectual being or analytical, or you are very logical, and your partner is dreamy, or your partner is the total opposite of you, and you don't appreciate that kind of person, you're not going to know that for the first year or two. Because at first it might be a little bit of a like excitement. You know, you're excited to get with them, you're excited, you create that bond. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, this person is too dreamy. They don't really have any stability, and I can't even with someone like that, you know? And I'm just using that because I'm very dreamy myself, and I flow and flow and flow and flow. And if I had a spouse, which I have in the past, that doesn't understand that I have to go with my gut, and doesn't understand that I have to feel right to do things, then they wouldn't understand why I can't go to work today. They wouldn't understand why I'm quitting a job where I make really good money to do something like paint with the kids, to do something like just go waitress, you know, quit my career for something that they don't feel as important. So that's number 6. And you know, I'll give you one more thing and then we'll talk on this subject again later. Let's see. Something else that's a bit, oh, I thought I got it. Love language. Love language. So number 7 is love language. If you guys don't appreciate each other in the same way, or at least appreciate how each other loves, it's going to be a big issue. So for some people, they say thank you with gifts. And so they're like, oh my God, you did something so well for me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to buy you a limo. I'm going to buy you some flowers, and you're going to just love a nice getaway that I'm going to give you. And then other people, they're like, but wait a minute. That getaway wasn't with you because you were at work. You didn't give me any time. Then you don't love me. You just sent me away to get out of your hair. You know, so some people believe in time. Give me all of your time. I'm a time person. I know time is valuable. It's the most valuable thing that you have. If you give me the most valuable thing that you have, then to me, you love me. So if someone were to give me all these Gucci purses and everything, I wouldn't even handle, because I'd be like, yeah, you've given me such wonderful things, but where are you when I need you? You're at work, or you're out tending to your mom, or you're out with your boys. You're not here with me. So a love language, and being able to understand people's love language, because some people feel like they want gifts, but they'll give time. So understanding how they love, some people have to be touched. They have to be in contact with you. So if you're a Navy wife and your husband's gone all the time, he doesn't touch you anymore. He's not hugging you. He's not there to caress your face or wipe your tears. And you feel like he doesn't love you, but he's just doing his job. And so that's a separation that will happen later in the marriage. So we have to be very careful to make sure that we're rating our partners on 1 through 10 of compatibility on all of these kind of subjects and many more, which I'll talk about in my next video. And so if we take the time to get to know people longer before we sleep with them, then relationships will be much more emotionally stable, much more foundationally grounded, and last a lot longer. So I encourage you and implore you to take the time to really get to know who you're dating and who you're sleeping with and who you're playing with. Because if you have a friend for every different subject of yourself, every different angle of who you are, then you're never going to find the one that fits all of your cuts. So yeah. Well, that's all I have for you today. I'll be back on Monday and Wednesdays to give you different viewpoints on what I got going on. I would love for you to sit and chat with me. I'm on Facebook as well, just Baez, Baez. And I hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas and a lovely holiday. Have a great time. And guys, I hate to tell you this, but I don't know how to stop this thing.